Hello, if you are as excited for New Comic Book Day as much as I am, you are in the right spot. Nerds, unite. It's allergy season. Holy crap. We've got a very manageable week, some great books to talk about. What was your read of the week? What was your pick of the week? What was your favorite cover of the week? Hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more. Holy moly. Yes, welcome back, everybody. Happy New Comic Book Day. I'm your man, ComicManAndy, down here in the ComicManAndy Comic Cave and Comic Dojo. And if you haven't figured it out already this week, holy allergies. We mow the lawn once for spring and pollen everywhere. Everybody says they're behind on reading. Holy moly. We're going to get into that, though. We're going to get into this chat. Welcome, everybody. I know a large amount of people are down there ready for MegaCon. Hopefully, you guys are watching, hanging out at the hotel bar, or having dinner tonight down there. I wish we could join you guys at MegaCon, but we are chilling like a bunch of villains after Motor City Comic Con, and that was an astonishing show, phenomenal show. If you want to check out the hauls for Motor City Comic Con, make sure you go to the channel link down below and check out all the shorts that we're posting. We're doing all those hauls in shorts. In fact, do me a favor, everybody, after the show tonight, head over to the short section, watch all those 15-second shorts, hit the thumbs up button on all of those. Greatly appreciate that. I'm very interested to see how much weight the YouTube Shorts metrics kind of carries over time as we can continue to build those shorts and kind of make it like a series. So when you watch one, you want to watch the next one and see what the next part is and see what the next part is. And kind of got some fun ideas, but like we said, we got a very manageable week as everybody continues to roll in here. Because remember, we talked about cutting back, not just a little bit either. We talked about cutting back quite a bit, and we're starting to see some of that pay off because when you cut back, you still end up sometimes finding other things. Yes, we've got a whole slew of back issues, so I can't wait to get into that too as well. I walked into the LCS, walking around looking, and all of a sudden I see the Star Wars section in the back issue bin just bursting at the seams. They've restocked it, refilled it, and I was like, yes, got to find me some more Star Wars books. You guys know I've been on a Star Wars kick for quite a while. So let's hit up the chat. Everybody rolling in tonight. We are already 3 minutes in, and we've got some people hanging out before the show even started. M3 Lines, what is up, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hot Zone Comics, what's good, man? Remind me, are you down in Orlando right now? Are you down at MegaCon? Hit me up, man. Let me know. I can't remember if you messaged me that you were down there. Mark, what is up, man? Good to see you. Behind on your reading. M3 Lines is behind on his reading because, yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Mitch, Joel, good to see you, man. Sorry we missed you guys last night. We did not run the Simpleman's Comics News weekly show due to some scheduling stuff going on. Brian and everybody else was like, oh, let's just take a week off. We'll see you guys next week. Christian, what's up, man? Good to see you. Your code name is now revealed as Christian. Yes. Up to date on collecting, so far behind on reading. Oh, ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? We did our first live stream over the weekend called Whiskey and Comics. I might have been a little buzzed by the end. Yeah, if you're doing Whiskey and Comics, yes, that is true. That is oh so true. A little hydration as we fight the allergy season. Holy moly. Christian says, done. What is up? Mojo Kit and Quid, what is up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So many people rolling into the chat right now. Hopefully no boxer shorts, he says. There you go. Hopefully not. House of L Comics, Don Davis, what is up, brother? Good to see you. Hopefully you are doing well. No DC, I bet. Yeah, there's no DC this week. Yeah, I'm going to start fixing that. Like we talked about, cutting back in other areas and other avenues so that we can open ourselves up to a little bit more, a little bit larger palette of reading. So hopefully that continues to work out. You're stuck in Kansas, Hot Zone says. That is unfortunate. Steve Messenger Art, what is up? If you guys don't know Steve Messenger, make sure you check out Steve on Instagram and look for all of his handles on social media. Steve is doing fantastic artwork that you guys do not want to miss out. You guys can find Steve. I'm sure Steve's going to be at Baltimore Comic-Con again this year where we met him last year. You guys don't want to miss out on his art. He's got the best Artist Alley booth out there. You can't miss it. My wife said to get a 6-pack of Sprite. I got home and realized I actually grabbed 7-Up. Oh, God. Yes, there you go. Shop for Comics. What is up, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. White Shadow, brother, good to see you as well. Thank everybody for being here. We're going to get into these books right now without further ado, but I want everybody to comment down below if you're watching the replay, or if you're here live, comment on what your read of the week was if you did get caught up this week. Not every book is hitting the reading pile. We do have a read of the week, but we're starting off with Marvel. Elektra, Black, White, and Blood does hit the reading pile. We are running behind today. Lots going on, lots happening. There's, like we said, MegaCon is going down. There's a lot of social media stuff keeping up with, and lots of messages to friends and family. And you guys know, sometimes it's hard to keep up. Blue Hellion Comics, what is up, man? I hope all is well on New Comic Book Day. Yes, it is. Nightwing. Excellent. I've had JP. I've had House of L. I've had Mitch. I've had so many people say Nightwing is a book you got to pick up and you got to read. And I am definitely missing out. Chip is definitely in the chat. Yes, Chip, good to see you as well. Yeah. So Elektra, Black, White, and Blood, number 4 of 5, if I remember correctly, that still it hits the reading pile. I mean, I'm kind of stuck prioritizing things. Why? There's just so many other things going on. Case in point, ipso facto, whatever you want to say, tonight is going to be, once we hang up with you guys here, hang out, hang up, hang on, move on, pull in, not out, pull up, not down. We're definitely getting into some Darth Vader reads and some Star Wars reads as we get caught up and we get refreshed for Celebration Week coming up, because there's some big news about to drop. Next up from Marvel, Silk number 5. This has been a fun title. I am not the biggest Spider-Man fan, and I'm not the biggest Silk fan, but I want to see where they're going with this character. So I've been keeping that on the pull list in hopes of making for that rainy day kind of adventure to sit down and read. And speaking of rainy day adventures, Thor 25 is out. Banner of War Part 2. It hits the reading pile for something about Thor and Donny Cates. Is Donny Cates even still on this? Donny Cates is still on Thor. It just got to a point, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ago, where Thor was kind of like, okay, I can live without reading this for a week or two. Something happened in that storyline where if you guys go back and watch New Comic Book Day videos, you'll eventually see me hit a stopping point on Thor. I was like, you know what? I feel fulfilled with Thor. I feel like now is a good time to kind of stop reading. Unfortunately, I forgot to take it off my pull list. So I might as well continue until the next story arc is done and then sit down and read that story arc. So that's it for the mainline Marvel. Bought Thor 25 as well. Mitch says, there it is. Yes. Come on, Mama in the house. What's up, kids? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Man, oh man. Good to have you guys in the chat tonight. Everybody here hanging out. Because next up, and we've kind of talked about this in the past, right? Zuni. A little pause for a Zuni fist bump action on a Wednesday. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. We've talked about Wong, and we've talked about Wright and Wong and Wright. No, I mean, no, sorry, Wong writing Dr. Aphra. I'm at a crossroads. We dropped Dr. Aphra around issue 5 or 6 some time ago. I just had a hard time reading it, and I don't know why. But there's too much potential within any Dr. Aphra series going forward to not be picking it up. Now, Dr. Aphra is probably one of my favorite characters to collect right now, along with Ahsoka Tano and Erica Slaughter and some other characters. But I just feel like I'm going to kick myself if I don't pick up Dr. Aphra stuff, regardless of, you know, this kind of that collector mindset where even if the read is just kind of average or not, like you guys remember in the past, quite a long while ago, how kind of upset and unhappy I was with Wong's. Like, I'm like turning the pages on Swiss cheese. There's so many holes in the story. I don't know if Wong was trying to find the footing of Dr. Aphra. Wong, if I remember correctly, was new to writing Dr. Aphra in this beginning of this series. I don't know if it was finding footing or what, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to get the books. And like we've talked about, as we scale back on a lot of other reads, on a lot of other, not even reads, I won't say reads, as we scale back on variant covers, Berserker coming to an end. There's only 4 more issues of Berserker. House of Slaughter, no more variants for House of Slaughter. That's done. Something is killing the children. No more variants for that. We're cutting and scaling back in those variants, which allows us an opportunity to, one, free up some budget to get into some DC reads, i.e. like Nightwing, like everybody has said. 2, allows us to continue moving forward with the Star Wars personal collection because of the simple fact that, yes, all covers, all copies, all variants for Star Wars. We are on that upper tier with the LCS now for Star Wars. Star Wars collectors are a very storied and historied group of collectors, and they're steadfast and they do not waver. So to be able to get a seat on that upper echelon with the LCS when they order Star Wars stuff, that you automatically get all the variants as well, it doesn't happen often. I will say that. It's kind of one of those things where once you get that seat, I don't want to let it go, number one. And I really do enjoy reading a lot of Star Wars stuff. So Dr. Aphra, I'm willing to continue giving that a shot. And if you're in for one, I'm in for all when it comes to Star Wars. The variants are coming out. I'm going to be really interested to see where this evolution goes from Star Wars with everything on Dr. Aphra beyond, not just the tie-in events like not Crimson Reign, War of the Bounty Hunters. I could have lived without War of the Bounty Hunters in all seriousness and just read the titles separately. And you guys have seen what we had to say about that a little bit. But all in all, I feel like it's better read and better collecting buying the Star Wars stuff than buying 6 copies of the same indie book and all different variants there as well. I mean, it's like tit for tat. It's kind of like putting your eggs all in one basket, kind of. It's, are you willing to invest your personal collection in Star Wars, or do you want to go indie stuff? And I still buy and read indie stuff, but good Lord, I want to dial it back on, especially like something that's killing the children. Remember that 2 weeks ago, we were off last week. 2 weeks ago, we had Berserker, Something is Killing the Children, and all the Star Wars hit all at the same time. It was like the moons not collided, but everything aligned. All the stars aligned, and we wound up for one of the top 3 most expensive new comic book days that we've ever had, and it was nuts. And it's like, I don't want to do that. Part of collecting comic books is budgeting weekly and budgeting monthly, and I want to kind of stay in that budget. Star Wars and Marvel are predictable enough that when I see something hit previews, I can generally figure out what that price tag is going to be on that variant 3 months before it hits my LCS. Star Wars is very predictable. My LCS is very predictable when it comes to the pricing of Star Wars variants. So that's much easier to budget for than Berserker dropping 3 variants for 1 issue and then turning around 2 issues later dropping 8 variants. It's like scatter bomb. 92 HoS Slaughter. Oh my god, 92 variants on House of Slaughter. I don't know, man. I cut quite a bit. Can't keep up with the reading. Yes, I am also in that boat where I'm not keeping up with the reading, but the collector side of me wants to keep up with the collecting side of things. Either way, we're still in Marvel and we're still in Star Wars as we continue to move along. Blue Hellion says his read of the week was Han Solo and Chewbacca #2. Yes, I'm digging this little side quest, side adventure, if you will, Han Solo and Chewbacca. The cover art is a little bit different. I don't quite recognize the artist for this cover, but as we go, we will get to another chat message here in a minute. But this Arthur Adams cover is dope. Really digging that Chewbacca cover. That's something similar. There was a Raza variant for issue 1 that I really liked that I don't think I got, but is sitting on the shelf at the LCS. Maybe I can score that for a deal at some point. That Arthur Adams is really cool. And I'm kind of trying to, I got to dig out issue 1 and figure out what's going on here. But the, good gravy. The Adam Hughes. Yes. The Adam Hughes variant. What happened here? Did they take the Adam Hughes variant of #1 and then break it into 4 parts for issues 2, 3, 4, and 5 to make it one big connecting variant? That kind of, I don't know. Either way. So that's there as well. I know there are a ton of Adams Hughes collectors that are picking that up. And before we move on to the additional books, we're going to go right on over here and say Zuni is dropping a $10 super chat for Mission 22. Now, remember, the mission for 2022 is to support Mission 22. So that means every super chat, every super sticker, all the ad revenue, all the entire monetization of this channel for the year of 2022 is being donated to Mission 22. And I implore you guys, if you do not do the YouTube side of things here, go directly to Mission 22. It's easy. Mission space 22 on Google. It'll be the first thing that comes up. Donate through there if you are so inclined, and tell them Comic Man Andy sent you. And you heard about Mission 22 from Comic Man Andy and the YouTube side of things with everybody in the comic collecting community. There you go. Check that out. Absolutely. Please do. And please help share that message of support for Mission 22. Remember, 22 veterans a day continue to take their lives, and that is 22 too many. So the mission for 2022 is to support Mission 22, who supports veterans' mental health and wellness, and also supports veterans' families with programs and education there. And I cut back quite a bit. Yeah, mama. And that's what we were talking about a little bit as we get into these next couple of books. Biggie. And the song goes right through my head. Biggie. Yes. Good to see you, New World Order Comics. Thanks for being here, man. He said 92 issues on House Slaughter. 92 covers? No, I don't think there's 92 variants. Hit me up, man. We'll keep up with that here in a bit. But that was Marvel. That was a Make Mine a Marvel kind of a week. That was all Marvel. 2 books left before we get into the back issue bin pulls as X11 Bravo comes up in spades. What is up, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. If you guys don't know, X11 Bravo is a huge presence within the comic book community on Instagram and other social media platforms, helping to organize support for companies, not companies, but, like Mission 22. And there are, Wounded Warriors. There's a lot of programs out there that X11 Bravo and those people help connect members within the community to help support each other as well. So we will get into these last 2 books real quick. I'll save the best for last. I'll save my pick of the week for last. But Walking Dead issue, oh man, I can't even keep that up. 39. You guys know, and I've talked about it in the past, I am incredibly elated to reread this issue by issue every other week as it comes out in color and to kind of relive that Walking Dead experience. I'm really happy to do that. And they are keeping it it's $3.99. They've kept it $3.99. Man, I thought it was $2.99. $2.99 is Saga, if I remember correctly. But still, I'm loving reliving that issue to issue and reading that as we go. I'll get into that one probably tomorrow. Like we talked about, tonight's going to be a big Star Wars read night. And then the last new comic book day book before we get into the new back issue bin pulls was House of Slaughter 6. This is my read of the week. This is a new story arc, a new character. And how do I get into this without entirely spoiling it for you guys? This is where I think they should have started off from the get-go. Without spoiling the story too much, there's a few comments that are made here in this issue that kind of provides substance as far as where this falls in the timeline. Erica's name gets dropped at one point, and based on what they say, it gives you a pretty good idea of where this falls in line with Something is Killing the Children, kind of where it gives you direction. It kind of becomes a little bit of a couple of those comments become beacons, if you will. So then it provides a little bit more comfort. It's like, okay, I kind of understand where we're at. Whereas the first story arc in House of Slaughter was kind of back and forth a little bit, and a lot of time jump, or you guys know what I'm saying, not time jumping, but when they're reminiscing back to other times, and it kind of became a little bit messy. It kind of became a little bit more difficult to follow. And frankly, that first story arc of House of Slaughter really kind of felt more of like a love story between 2 characters. And I'm like, this is supposed to be full of horror and gore, and it's not. And that's kind of why I was reading Tynion's work. This is leading, it's got a little bit more thriller aspect, a little bit more horror. I'm liking where we're going with this. But as you notice, this is it. No variants. None. No variants. I was really happy with just sitting down and reading this and not getting all the variants. I was very happy with that. And we're going to stick with House of Slaughter, just cover A. And if I remember correctly, I better double check with my email to my LCS to make sure that I've got Something is Killing the Children down to just cover A as well. So here we go. Mitch Joel with the Canadian $20 super chat to Mission 22. Appreciate all that you do, Andy. And the mission, everybody at Mission 22 supports or appreciates all of the support everybody here in the community does on a regular basis. We've got some announcements coming up. Before we get into the back issue bin polls, we'll get into the announcements. Thanks, Andy. We appreciate you, brother. You do so much for veterans, and we are honored by you, my friend. I am honored by all of you that continue to come out every week, hang out, talk New Comic Book Day on Wednesday. We talk modern comics on Monday. You guys support Brian and everybody over there at Supplements Comics News Weekly on every Tuesday. And coming out to support us on Friday nights on Whatnot. Now, granted, I haven't run a Whatnot auction in a couple of weeks. It's been busy. It's been hectic. We are primed. We are staged. And we are ready. It is MegaCon weekend this weekend. There's going to be a ton of great auctions going on there. But the week after is Star Wars Celebration Week. We are going to run a massive Star Wars auction of all the additional extra copies that we can spare of all keys. If I can run an entire Star Wars auction for 2 to 3 hours of just keys, that's the goal. There's going to be as many slabs as we can fit in there and as many raw books and keys as we can. I'm sure there's going to be some pretty cool cover buys in there. There's going to be some probably what you think would be run filler, but they're super secret squirrel sneaky spec keys that not a lot of people are talking about yet. Yeah. We've been digging, we've been hoarding, and we've been prepping for this exact time. Everything's going to start at $1. It's going to be Friday the 27th. We've tentatively have this scheduled at 9 p.m. for that Friday. It could start at 9:30, could start a little bit later. We'll kind of see how the pool looks as before we go to jump in. How much chlorine does the pool need? How many people are in there? Are there any floaters still going around? I mean, we'll see what happens with that pool. We'll check the pool, you know what I mean? But we'll get there, right? I really am looking forward to that because Star Wars has been something I'm really passionate about. So I know my passion is going to power through on that Whatnot auction. That's going to be a ton of fun. I know you guys are going to enjoy it as well. So a couple of more comments really quick before we get into the back issue bins, which are pretty much, you guessed it, Star Wars books. JP says, how many people with ADHD does it take to change a light bulb? Oh, you want to go for a bike ride? Don't do that. Don't do that. Allergies. You know, right before we hit start live on the show, like my whole sinus palate just like cleared. And I was like, I can breathe again. And I'm sitting here. And as we're talking, the more I talk, the more congested I get. It's like pollen is seeping in through the walls, through the windows, through the walls, to the sweat drop. I mean, JP, what is up, brother? You'd be proud of me, man. That was it. Just a couple of books for the week. It's still kind of an expensive week, only because of the back issue bins. I haven't done a one-out sale in a few weeks either. Been redoing my comic sales room. So we've spent the better part of a month. The lighting is not conducive to show you guys the comic cave down here yet, but there's a table right behind this screen that has 2 boxes of slabs and has 8 short boxes of raw books. And that entire table is just Star Wars. Just Star Wars titles. We've spent the better part of a month sorting and organizing, making sure I have every Star Wars book pulled out so I know how many doubles I have. I know how many reader copies I have of issues that we're going to keep and what we're going to share with the community on what. Like we said, everything's going to start for $1. If it's an $800 book, it's starting for $1. That's what we do. That's the fun that we have. And there's just a ton of stuff going on behind us here, but that Star Wars thing is going to be a super, super lit party this Friday. I hope everybody can at least come and hang out, even if they're not interested in buying anything. Coming and hanging out and supporting and having a good time is where we're at. But head over to Whatnot, and if you could, please bookmark that auction now. The larger number of bookmarks that an auction has, the better it helps that kind of algorithm out on Whatnot and propels that auction forward. We're also going to be building a giveaway or 2 giveaways for that. We're going to try to dig deep and find out what we have available in the slab box for giveaways. So we're getting into the back issue bin polls. And as you guys know, Star Wars Celebration Week is coming up. The hot topic is Obi-Wan, and that drops, the 27th? The first 2 episodes drop on the 27th. And we've already seen the Grand Inquisitor and some of the other characters. We've already seen them not spoiled, but we've seen them on the trailer. Speaking of trailers, what's up, Marco? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Marco and I got to hang out at Motor City Comic Con this past weekend and dig through some stellar discount bins and pull a bunch of great Star Wars books and a bunch of great other books. Marco, always a really good time, man. You guys, I think, Marco, I can announce this here. You guys can look for me more often on Renovision with Peter and Marco on Sunday nights is what I'm hoping to be a part of. I know there was an open invite extended by Peter Rena and Marco to hang out. It's kind of always been there, but we're really trying to fit that into the schedule because there's nothing but amazing Star Wars talk coming up over the next several quarters and next several months leading into this fall and this winter. And there are so many good books that people aren't talking about except for Peter and Marco. It's going to be such a blast over there. But the back issue bins, man. Back issue bins is where we're at today. Open invite. He says, absolutely, man. Thank you. I couldn't believe it as I'm walking and looking at all of the new comic book day books on the wall. Over catching my eye on that left is, hey, there's the Star Wars tabs. Hey, wait a second. There's two and a half. Oh, it's expanded. Oh, it's bursting at the seams. Oh my. Oh yeah. Bursting in like the Kool-Aid, man. We're dipping our toes in there and coming to find out, yes, the Charles Soule run got refilled with like, there's issue 8 there. A phenomenal cover to have. There is the Gillen run got refilled. Issue 16 is a nice little mini key if you don't know. Issue 7 was available as well. Picking that up. Issue 7 is the first appearance of a bounty hunter. Why is that important? Andy, well, let me let you guys know the reason why I feel like this is important. First and foremost, buy what you love and love what you buy. Don't let me steer you into buying anything you don't want to buy. All I'm saying is where everybody's going with Star Wars and Disney Plus and the streaming services and the upcoming movie franchise, not franchises, but the upcoming movie opportunities. The bounty hunters within the Star Wars universe are so underutilized and underexplored. I feel like there's anything that's a first appearance of any bounty hunter in a Star Wars comic, it's something I need to add to my collection. That's me personally. And if you guys know we're talking about bounty hunters, I'm also always talking about Dr. Aphra. There's issue 29 in the back issue bins. We're talking just above cover price. Essentially, they work in the price of the bag, so to speak. So it's like $4. Issue 27 is a first appearance of an ally for Dr. Aphra, if you didn't know. You guys kind of know that if Dr. Aphra is going to show up on screen, I'm not saying Dr. Aphra is going to show up, but they'd be crazy to not put her on a screen, either in a show or in a movie. If Dr. Aphra is going to show up on screen somewhere, her support characters or support staff are going to have to be there as well. I.e., think of a love interest, think of an ally, think of family members, I don't think Dr. Aphra has any siblings. I got to go back and reread this stuff. But seriously, if you are digging and find Dr. Aphra books, do yourself a favor and at least educate yourself. Don't buy it if you don't want to, but educate yourself. Make smart plays. Just don't make plays to make plays, but make smart plays when you're making plays. Speaking of that, issue 21 of Star Wars is kind of overlooked all too often. I can't remember the appearances in here. Like, my brain is scattered. Wasn't this the first appearance of those Dark Troopers, those Scar Troopers, or something like that? Now, this is still got hot during Mandalorian, and is cooled back off basically to cover price. So we always want to buy books on the dip. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm seeing a big Star Wars dip right now. Star Wars issue 6 from that Soul run. I think that was the first appearance, not first appearance, but like the first Luke's new saber color. If I remember correctly, I know that's not really counted as a first appearance. It's just kind of a highlight. Gillen's Darth Vader number 8 has another appearance in here. I don't want to steer you guys wrong. Look it up. You guys know. I should have had my notes available, but one book that a lot of people aren't talking about, and Marco, brother, I found additional copies of this. Everybody kind of knows that when you're collecting any kind of comic book, you're looking at the first couple of arcs for your major first appearances, right? There are a lot of boxes full of Star Wars books that are still full of all those later books. First appearance of the Lady Sith, if I remember correctly. Newsstand copy, Star Wars 88. Less than cover price? Yeah, I'm going to grab that. Not saying it's going to happen. Double Low, what is up, brother? We're going to get to you in just a second here. And then we're going to recap all these books. We're already half an hour in. Darth Vader number 5. 2 first appearances in here, and I think like 2 or 3 cameos. This has kind of got like, when you look at the list, there's like 5 things attached to this book. So if it's in near mint condition and it is cheap, grab it. Well, don't do what I'm doing. Do what you want to do. And then a book that's not talked too often about either is Darth Vader #2 from that Soul run. This is the first cameo appearance of, I'm not even going to try to butcher the name, a Jedi Master, if I remember correctly, Kirik and Fala. I just tried to butcher the name. Either way. But if you find this in near mint high grade condition, the census or the population on CGC isn't super high for this or #3, in my opinion. And I feel like that's why graded copies are priced as high as they are right now. So this book also comes in a second print that's kind of a ghost book. I don't know if it's ghost book. You know, I mean, I want to ask Peter and I want to ask Marco what they feel about that. There's a second print that does say second print on there, but it's really easy to tell because the window is missing and all you see is space behind Darth Vader. Very cool kind of variation on the book that I really, really, really enjoy. I've only ever found one in the wild, and that was this past Motor City Comic Con. And I felt like the vendor had it really underpriced. Normally when I find a book that's like drastically underpriced, I was like, yeah, I want to grab it and add it to the collection. But I'm like, this is a second print. I hardly ever see them. I felt like this was a book worthy of grading and felt like I could hit a 9.8 based on I was looking at it. So I took one look at the vendor and I'm like, I think you got to reconsider this one. And he said thanks and put it back in a back bin behind him. And he said, hey, I appreciate that. And Bill, I don't think Bill's ever going to watch this. Bill, who Marco introduced me to actually a couple of different times, but this is really where I got to spend some time and get to know Bill at this Motor City. And Bill, if that book ever shows back up in your bins at a convention, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to pick that up because I do not have a raw second print. And that's the back issue bin pulls. That was just from my LCS. We're talking $4.50 for most of those. Some of the ones that are obvious keys, they kind of bump up into that $5 or $10 category. But either way, man, lots of really good potential to add to personal collections right now because I feel like Star Wars is on a dip. Why? Well, when you can buy a whole slew of Darth Vader 3s, the first appearance of Dr. Aphra, for way cheaper than what they have been in the last 6 months to a year, it tells me there's a bit of a dip. I mean, seriously. Let me get into something. Second Street Marvel Trinity, what is up, brother? Thanks for being here. Like we said, Double O, brother, what is up in the chat? Good to see you. I got to spend a great deal of time with Double O this weekend at Motor City Comic Con. Got to see his booth, got to meet his wife. Super cool couple there. And we had Double O on this past Monday. So everybody, please do me a favor. Check out Modern Comic Mondays this past Monday, where we did the Motor City Comic Con recap. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a watch. Give it a listen if you're on a road trip. It does really well as a podcast. Just leave YouTube running and treat it as a podcast. Eventually, we might start doing some of those episodes as podcasts. But Mood 00, good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. Look forward to hanging out with you again. You always have an open invite to hang out on Modern Comic Mondays at any point, because I'm sure a lot of your collecting and my collecting kind of align, and we jive really well. Zuni, yes, with the fist bump right there. Star Wars 21, the first appearance of Scar Squadron. That's it. And it remind me, is that no, that's not the Dark Troopers. The Scar Squadron got hot for some reason during Mandalorian not too long ago, and I feel like it's finally cooled back off if I'm finding it for just above cover price. Either way, that's a book that I didn't have, and I didn't let FOMO get the better of me. I waited until it came back around and found a dip and picked it up for $4.50 today. There we go. Absolutely. Black Cape had a 35% off sale, and I finally found the Beast Wars 1 in 25 for a good price. Finally got the set. Ooh, just send the CGC box to me. There you go, man. Good stuff. Awesome. Yes. Why does Sherlock Holmes love Mexican restaurants? They gave him good quesadillas. Oh, my God. No. I had to say it out loud. They gave him good quesadillas. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That is pure gold. Quesadillas. Yes, absolutely. Come on, Mom. I love it, man. I love it. Yes, so let's get into the recap here. We did a couple of announcements. So going forward, announcements are still the same. For anybody just joining in, we've got Orlando MegaCon going on right now. If you are going down to MegaCon, or you know somebody that is going down to MegaCon, send them to see Garrett Gunn at the Source Point press booth, or Source Point Press comic booth, and check out that Good Boy exclusive they have going down for MegaCon. Super cool exclusive. Garrett Gunn is good people, hometown from Michigan. Make sure you said Andy said hi. Hopefully Garrett is having a blast down there with everybody. I really kind of wish I could be with everybody there. There's going to be tons of great content on Whatnot and YouTube and IG and TikTok, you name it, all over the social media platforms. There's going to be a ton of great content going down from MegaCon. Can't wait to see that stuff pop up, which means once MegaCon's done, it's Star Wars Celebration starting next week. I cannot wait. And we've got that Whatnot auction that's going to be happening next Friday, tentatively scheduled for 9 p.m. You guys know me. We might start going live and do like a music video intro, hang out, have a good time, and start slinging some books. But we're going to let that beat build, as Uncle Mel says. Let that beat build, right? We're going to start off small, and we're going to keep ramping and keep ramping and keep ramping and keep ramping and let that beat build. Everything's going to start for $1. It's all going to go for 30 seconds. And we've already started pulling books. This week, we're a week ahead of the auction. We're going to be loading those books and actually recording some footage for people to see so they can get a quick 30-second intro to what's going to be available. But I'm telling you, Darth Vader keys, Dr. Aphra keys, it's going to be all the additional keys. The reason why we've been hitting the cons hard over the last several months and these mini cons, like I said, I feel like Star Wars is in a dip. And if Star Wars is in a bit of a dip, it's time to bring Star Wars books, affordable Star Wars keys, to everybody else out there that doesn't know about them, that wants to have them before they spike again this fall. Because that's been kind of the norm, right? Fall through winter, Star Wars books are hot. Spring and summer, Star Wars books tend to cool off. This is kind of the last caveat, last hurrah, because as we can see next week, we're getting a Star Wars streaming show, Obi-Wan, come spring. Are Star Wars books going to cool off again, or are they going to spike again? Or are they going to stay? Are they going to plateau? Case in point, Star Wars 42, first appearance of Boba Fett, right? It spiked, and it spiked hard leading up into the show. Then during the show and after, the books cooled off a little bit. What's going to happen with that because of Obi-Wan? Probably not much, but it could stabilize. We're not gonna see that continued downward trend with Star Wars books like we normally do there in the summertime when everybody's out at the beach partying and going fishing and camping and all this other stuff. I feel like now that we're seeing a spring release of a Star Wars show, Star Wars books, we're not gonna see the same ebb and flow that we have in the past. We're gonna have to find that new ebb and flow. We're gonna have to look for microchasms, if you will. We're gonna have to look from March to May, kind of. Just jammed right in there. Down. Grab him now. Go. That's kind of how I feel it's happening with my Star Wars collection. Let's recap these books, though. Think of the Green Bear of Stormtroopers. There you go. There you go. Think of the Green Bear of Storm. Garrett is definitely awesome. Can't wait to see that grow that foil does on auction. Oh, my God. Yes. Where is that book? We have to grab that out. And I don't know. Do you guys think I should drop that on a Star Wars auction? That's kind of an indie book that I'm not sure if you want to really drop an indie book for Mission 22 on a Star Wars auction, but Garrett Gunn. Go visit Garrett Gunn. Tell him Andy said hi and Andy sent you down at MegaCon. Buy some books from him. Garrett and Source Point Press and Christina donated this to be auctioned off for Mission 22 on the Whatnot auction. So that was super cool of Garrett and Source Point Press and everybody to send that out. CGC 9.9. It is a foil book, and you guys know how much I love foil. And this thing looks really good. Signed on the back by Garrett Gunn. Super, super awesome. And we're looking forward to seeing that go up for Mission 22 soon. I don't know if we should put it up on a Star Wars auction. I don't know if this would perform optimally during a Star Wars auction. So I'm kind of wondering if I should wait for the next indie weekend to put this up. Why did the mushroom go to the party? Oh my God. Because he's a fun guy. There it is. Garrett is definitely awesome. That's supposed to say how, and then the fun guy right there. Yes. But another community member here, as we dig into this, as we continue to go over announcements, another community member, while I was at Motor City, donated another book to be auctioned off for Mission 22, and that is Young Avengers #1. in a CBCS 8.0. So this is going to hit the auction block coming up, maybe during a superhero auction or a Marvel auction. I'm not quite sure. This is also another one that I'm not quite sure we should put up on a Star Wars auction. Either way, I think they would perform better outside of a Star Wars auction, and we want them to perform as optimally as possible for Mission 22. So that's 2 great slabs donated by community members in support of Mission 22 that are here, ready, and waiting, which means there are a couple more raw books. Another community member out there that wishes to remain anonymous sent a package of raw books a month ago, and we did 2 of those for the community. It was a mystery box, and there are 3 more of those books that are available sitting over here. So what we're doing is we're basically taking a short box, and anything that gets donated gets put into that short box and gets set aside to be put into Whatnot auctions for Mission 22. And yeah, we're gonna see what we can do as we continue to work on the channel monetization, all that stuff for Mission 22. You are now into Star Wars. So am I. Thanks. Oh God. No, buy what you love and you'll love what you buy. But seriously, I'm so addicted to Star Wars lately. And some of it's because there's some serious challenges to collecting Star Wars books from like 2000 to like 2015. There are ghosts in there, and there are books where the conditions are sensitive. You know, like Marvel print runs. Marvel print runs have been terrible. Marvel covers have been terrible lately. But even in the past, 2014, 15, 16, Marvel had really bad color rub issues with a lot of the books, which makes finding high-grade versions of first appearances difficult, i.e. Dr. Aphra. Then turn around and look for 1 in 25 variants. I'm finding some 1 in 25 variants for Dr. Aphra runs that I feel like aren't ghost books, but are on the verge of. The only thing that's keeping them from being ghost books is the fact that they're not like solid keys. They're just really, really good solid covers that are really affordable. Yes, I love Star Wars 2 Logic. Absolutely. Let's recap these books real quick before we get too far in. Like we said, my read of the week so far, House of Slaughter 6. No variants, just cover A. I feel like they should have led off with this issue for issue 1 of House of Slaughter. And I feel like we could have gone deeper into character development. Instead of the first arc being the first arc, make that the second or third arc and go deeper into character development after we've set that tone and set that pace and set that world and environment of House of Slaughter. Because we all know Erica and Something is Killing the Children, but let's set the tone and pace for the rest of that Slaughter universe or Slaughterverse. Let's call it the Slaughterverse, right? And as you'll notice tonight, it just says HOS on the title. That's because anytime I type out the words House of Slaughter, Twitch cancels the stream. It doesn't like the word slaughter for some reason. Either way, because we are multi-streaming to Twitch and YouTube tonight, as we do every time that we're on, and we will continue to work to goo live on IG and other avenues, all in one show, and have a multi-streaming platform going on. Walking Dead 39 is, yes, it is 39. Is once again every other week as this book comes out. It's great to reread this issue to issue and relive this experience in full color. Absolutely happy. It's affordable. I don't know about you guys, but most LCSs have a club discount and getting 20% off of new comic book day books. So $3.99 minus 20%. You know, I mean, it's only like $6 some odd additionally per month to relive that experience. That's less than the price of a movie ticket. And I know people that go to the movies every weekend. So that's a good bit of entertainment for super cheap amount of money. And then we dip into the Dr. Aphra issue 20 variants here as well. Cover A. Like we said, I'm willing to give it a chance from a collector standpoint, even if it's only a mediocre or an average. I don't want to use the term mediocre. I'm not trying to talk bad about somebody's writing. It just didn't seem like it found its footing right away. Maybe it's found its footing more so now, but either way, like we said, willing to give it a chance because it's a Star Wars read. And then the Adam Hughes, what did they take? Did they take the regular Adam Hughes cover from the issue 1 and just turn it into a connecting variant here? I don't know. It's kind of weird. I looked at Andrew and Josh and the other guys at the LCS, and I'm like, wait, what the hell happened here? Why does it look like a sticker that's been like cut in half? Either way, it's Hughes. There are a ton of rabid Hughes collectors and fans, so I feel like a ratio variant on a series that's not being ordered heavily from Adam Hughes is something to probably hold on to, especially from Star Wars for now. And then my favorite is, Arthur Adams. This Arthur Adams cover, super cool. Super cool. And then we've got cover A for Han Solo and Chewbacca. Now, if I remember correctly, who was it? Was it Mitch that said Han Solo and Chewbacca 2 was their read of the week? I got about halfway through this and got to finish reading it, but I'm enjoying it so far. There's the other variant for Dr. Aphra. Thor 25 is out this week. The Banner War Part 2. Silk number 5 does hit the reading pile. And Elektra 4, Black, White, and Blood hits the reading pile. Those are the new comic book day books. Much smaller run of books than what we've been doing in the past several months. And it boils down to bulk. You guys kind of noticed, like, what we budget for weekly when it comes to new comic book day. I bought less new comic book day books, but what happened? I bought a stack of back issues because I saw an opportunity. So did I save any money? Not really. But when it comes to like bulk, did I save any bulk? Oh, crap. I didn't. No. Yeah. Uh-oh. See, it's backfiring on me. See, this is no different than on other weeks past, just because they're back issues. Either way, more than half of these are personal collection books now because of Star Wars. Now, granted, yeah, my additional copies are going to go to that Star Wars auction because I'm super stoked to bring some of these keys to other people in the community that haven't been able to find them or haven't seen them available. But yeah, at least we didn't buy 8 of the same breed. We didn't buy 8 variant covers from the same read. That's kind of one of those things where I fight that completionist collector aspect and trying not to get into that. Do we really want to go over the back issues again real quick? Burke Family 54. What's up, brother? Stopping in before my run. Hope you're doing well. Hey, did you guys know that diarrhea is hereditary? Because it runs in your genes. Oh, I butchered that. Read of the week is Bolero. Freaking fire. What was that, issue 5, Trinity? I think that was issue 5. And I kind of regret not catching that when it first came out. I might have to reread that digitally, or not reread it, but read it digitally. It's called the Slaughterverse now. If it wasn't before, yes. Definitely needs to be called the Slaughterverse. House of Slaughter was really good this week. Yes, I agree. I liked it. Only read the first 2 issues before this. Trinity, save yourself the time and don't bother to read 3, 4, or 5. It just doesn't fit. What they released here, this should have been the very beginning of the House of Slaughter arc and issue 1. Right here. It sets the pace. It sets the tone. It kind of sets the universe a little bit better, in my opinion, if you will. But it also helps to set the timeline. We kind of know where we're living in this read for the Slaughterverse, so to speak. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a couple of comments in relation to Erica Slaughter, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. I know where we're at. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, it's and there was a ton of variants that we picked up, and I don't know why. It's just crazy. So the back, we've gone over the new comic book day books. We'll go over the back issue books really quick again. Star Wars 88. We found an old newsstand copy, a reader grade of this. First Lady Sith. I don't know if there was a character named to that, but how many female Siths have Sith? What's the plural for Sith? Either way, we haven't seen too many female characters, and I feel like the Star Wars universe and Disney Plus is rife for a lot of strong female leads and badassery that's going to be dropping here in the soon in the future. I.e., a la carte or a la Dr. Aphra, Darth Vader number 8, killer Dr. Aphra cover, but also if I think this is a first appearance. It's a minor first appearance. It's not a big major key, but I mean, it's one of those ones where if you find it at cover price, that's what I'm going to grab. Star Wars issue 6 from that Soul Run, the new lightsaber color for Luke. Star Wars 21, you guys told me the Scar Trooper in here, first appearance. I knew it was one to grab when I saw the cover because I've never seen that cover whenever I flip through all the Star Wars bins. Issue 21's always gone. And I know that I didn't have issue 21, so I'm like, well, I better grab that. Issue 27 coming up next of Dr. Aphra is the first appearance of an ally for Dr. Aphra. And if Dr. Aphra is going to show up on the big screen or on the little screen, the tertiary characters within that Aphra-verse, if you will, there's potential there as well. So grabbing one at cover price just seems like a no-brainer. Issue 29, super cool jetpack cover. I think this was a minor key. If it's not, oh well, I'm grabbing it anyways. Darth Vader issue 7, first appearance of a bounty hunter BT box or something like the BTs. I don't know. There's a first appearance of a bounty hunter in here that's kind of a minor bounty hunter. But where are we at in the Star Wars universe right now? There's nothing but expansion happening, and bounty hunters have been underutilized and underserviced for a long time. That issue 21 is the awesome Aja cover. Yes, absolutely. That's another reason why it doesn't show up a lot. Is it's an awesome Aja. Well, it shows up, but people grab it because it's an awesome Aja cover. Lots of Sith and female Sith before the rule of 2. Oh, okay. Thanks for the education there. Like I said, there's a lot of avenues of Star Wars that I'm still educating myself on, which is why I'm buying so heavy and dipping into reading everything so heavy. If Rey was Palpatine's granddaughter, does that mean she's a Sith? That's a whole can of worms that a lot of people are still upset over from the last trilogy, which don't know that we really want to dig into right now, but that is a great question. I would say Siths, but I'm someone that will say that's wrong. There we go. And then continuing on, issue 16 from that Gillen run, if I remember correctly, was a minor key. Issue 8, Darth Vader from the Soul run, was a great cover that has to do with the Grand Inquisitors. Issue 2 from that Soul run, this is the first cameo appearance of Kalak and Fira, or Kalak, or I'm going to butcher the name, but a Jedi Master. Issue 5 has 2 first appearances of the Asorta twins or Asanta twins. 2 first appearances there, and then a couple of cameos on it. There's a lot going on in issue 5 here, which makes it a great pickup for cheap. Don't spend 30 or 40 or 50 or $60 on this book. I mean, grab it for 5, 10, 15 bucks, something like that. Whatever you feel is affordable for your collection. But that's a pretty good deal of Star Wars like mini keys to grab for super cheap from the LCS on top of New Comic Book Day. You guys know I kind of love mixing in some back issue bin stuff. It doesn't happen super often because, back issue bins don't get restocked on a weekly basis. They get restocked when they can get to them. And it's kind of like luck of the draw that if they restock it and you get there and it hasn't been dug through yet, that's pretty awesome. That's what I love about my LCS fanfare in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I make the journey over there to support them because I really enjoy how Tom and Bill do things there, and all of their people there are amazing. Andrew, Josh, Matt, the other Josh, Grant, Stephanie. There's probably 3 or 4 other people that I should try to remember their names of, but I don't see them often on Wednesdays or the weekends. But yes, love you guys. Thank you so much for the support. But that's New Comic Book Day. We're at the 52-minute mark, so it's time to get into announcements one more time after we get into the last couple of comments. He says, oh, oops. No, there's no oops. It's just that's one of those things that a lot of people are still really upset about, if I remember correctly. Yes, so like we said, when it comes to announcements, if you apply the theory that was said during the original trilogy, Sith, Jedi are religions, and it's a matter of choice. Yeah, that's a good comment. That's a good thought there. But like we said, this week, MegaCon. Tons of great footage, tons of great content coming from everybody. I know Uncle Seth, Uncle Skeffy Poo McSkefferson, Uncle Seth? Did I say Uncle Seth? Uncle Skeff is down at MegaCon right now, arrived and is hanging out, setting up. Can't wait to see the content coming from his avenue and what's going to be coming up from what he's got up his sleeve for this weekend. And the Whatnot booths are going to be on fire down there. Going to be tons of great stuff. And like we said, next week, Star Wars Celebration Week. So we're going to be here building the next Star Wars auction. In fact, you guys follow me on Instagram. I'll post some pictures. You guys will kind of see what we're doing and what we're working on leading up into that auction. And as we continue to try to share more content about what's going on here with the ComicManAndy comic collecting kind of game. Not really game, but the experience. Like, you guys join this adventure and journey into this comic book collecting kind of realm. And all the mistakes that I make, then you guys can learn from those too. But yeah, that's New Comic Book Day. I'm ComicManAndy. You guys comment down below what your read of the week was. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your reads of the week in the live chat. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you kick the notification bell and pick one of those reaction buttons down there as well. Welcome to all the new people that have shown up in the last week or so. There's been quite a few new subscribers. It's been awesome. What do you call it when a Sith Lord with sword joints? What do you call it when a Sith Lord with sword joint. Darth Ritus? Oh. Nope. No, back to the drawing board there. No, I'll give you that one. That's a good one. Or a gray Jedi who pick and choose some. Yeah. So Ahsoka became neutral or gray, or I don't want to yell at her right now, but she knows the exact term. As she left the Jedi Order, her lightsaber colors changed and she became like a gray Jedi or something of that nature. A la end of Clone Wars and the cloak that she wore. Sorry, bad grammar. Thanks, Andy. We appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you as well. You and your significant other and everybody out there supporting veterans and the veteran community. It takes a village. It always takes a village. We will end it on that note with another special announcement at the very end here. You guys know how I'm going to do this, right? You guys know every Monday, Modern Comic Mondays, we did a fantastic, fun conversation over about Motor City Comic Con this past Monday. Please watch it. Please hit that like button. Please share that out. That was a really fun experience. We talked with Mood 00 and Beth, the chalk art girl, who had a stellar weekend at Motor City. We can't wait for Motor City coming up this October again. And as we prep for that, we also prep for Baltimore City Comic Con in October. We prep for C2E2 in August. There's going to be some mini conventions. Lansing, Michigan has a comic convention coming up in another couple of weeks as well that we'd like to hit up. Grand Rapids, Michigan has a comic convention going on that I know Beth is going to be going to as well. It's going to be a packed year. It's going to be a ton of fun. We're looking forward to it. But you guys know how we do this every week, right? We're going to end this with a, hey, I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch you on the flip side for the next one. But remember, the most important part, all day, every day, you are enough. Think about it. Have a great week, everybody. Catch you on the next one.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me while I change. The holler boogie has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty.
Switch to targeting computer.
I love gold.